music. We are live, John.
What is up?
We
are always live. I'm so
always
excited about today, Nick. I'm so excited because a new era of how to film weddings is beginning in this exact moment. History is being made right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really excited about it. Film review day, lots of good things going on. But first, my good buddy, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. If you're in the chat, say hello. We might be having a small technical difficulty at the moment. Do we just have a black screen? Is that what you see there, John?
That's what I see. That's what I see.
Blake. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's the delay. All right. We are here. Say hello in the chat. Sorry, this is our first time doing it exactly like this. So we're excited. Yes.
I'm watching over here and I just showed up like a minute ago, which is fine. But I had to change the quality to 1080 because it was on 240p. I looked like junk. So if we look like junk, make sure you change your quality. That's all I want to say. Okay, getting that ironed out. People can see us, which is good. I see you in the comments. What's up, Beach and Delmy and AskM Studios and Adam Cheddar Films and Noah? What is up, everybody? Let us know in the comments, Nick, where you're watching from.
Yes.
You know, things like that. Who are you? Where are you watching from? Meet some new friends. I don't know. Well.
Yes, please do that. Blake, why don't you go ahead and throw those slides up on the screen? Welcome to the live wedding film reviews by How to Film Weddings by John and myself. And before we jump into this, we wanted to take a moment and explain to you just how this is going to work and what we are going to be doing here today and once a month whenever we do this. So it's simple. John and I are going to sit and watch wedding films, and that's what we're going to do. And then we are going to actually rate them and review them. And we have 5 different categories that we are going to rate all of these films on, and we will talk about that right now. John, why don't you share what those 5 categories are?
Yes, and we are being very strategic on these because we wanted to do something that was very, very helpful for the people watching, even if you don't submit a film. And when we boiled it down to the things we're looking at on wedding films, we review a lot of them, is these 5 categories. The first one being cinematography or The cinema side of things, the way you're shooting, your form, your composition, all of those things. The next category is your audio, dialogue, sound effects, how you're mixing in music, all those different things. Next category, Nick, is editing. Are you editing the film correctly? Are you making it engaging? Is it something that we want to keep watching? Are you trying new things? Are you being creative? The next category is story. How are you telling the story? Is there a build? Is there anything that's keeping me hanging on? Does it feel boring? What is your story? And then the last thing is color. How are you coloring the film, technique, all those things? So we have cinema, audio, editing, story, and color.
Yep. And then there's going to be there are 50 possible points for each of these films. And how we do that is John is responsible for 25 points. I am responsible for 25 points. And so there's a total of 50 that you can receive. And we want to break down how we are going to add that up. So with each category, you get 1 to 5, and 5 is going to be excellence among excellence, like just incredible work across the board on everything. So if you get a 5, that's you're above and beyond the other people
can't get any
industry.
Better. Yeah,
can't get any better. A 4 is going to be above average, and this is really, really good. And then a 3 in there is just going to be kind of industry standard. And so whenever, the base that we want everyone to be at is probably around a 30. That's just across the board. This is really solid. This is good. This is great work. You should be able to continue to pump this stuff out and make lots of money. So it's just going to be an industry standard. A 2 is going to be below industry. You got some things to work on. And then a 1 is just going to be far below industry standard. And, put in that work to get better, to raise those numbers up. Okay.
Yeah.
And John, anything you want to add about that?
Well, yeah, the thing I want to just make sure people know is that like people are submitting films to be critiqued, and our job is to help you grow, and we want to elevate the industry by doing this. And so we're going to be like not harsh, but we're going to grade these or score these as true as possible with as much kindness, but with the heart of helping you. And so like a 30, like you were saying, Nick, industry standard is going to be a high quality film. Like to get a 30 on a film is like you're at the standard or right there at standard of like the, very passable. You don't have much to work on. Anything below that might need a little bit of work. And so, it really is an interesting position, to like be judging people's work and stuff and whatever. And so we just want to throw it out there at the beginning. It's like, this is to help, not to, so we don't want you to be afraid to like submit something. The only way you can get better is to submit your work and have other people watch it and grow that way. So
Yes. And then how we're going to score these is we actually have some badges for you. If you get a 38 out of 50, we're going to give you an honorable distinction badge that you can put on your website, share with the world that you got a very high rating on your film. Or if you get a 45 or above, we're going to say that you are an official HTFW selection, and you will get another badge that will be very fancy that you can display everywhere. But regardless, if you, score one of these things, we are going to feature you on the How to Film Weddings Instagram account. On Fridays, we do filmmaker features. And so we will feature you on a Friday account. You will get a designated post for that with the film that you get either an honorable distinction or an official selection.
Yeah, I love that. And if you have an idea for a fun name for it, let us know. But that's where we're going right now with the names for all these different things. And this is going to be a lot of fun. I see in the comments already, lots of you, 70 or so of you watching live and saying this is a great thing. We're really excited about this. We think it's going to help the industry. And that's why we really wanted to do something a little different so we could actually give scores so you could see where you need to work on and look at these. And so Nick and I will be like, we got our notepads ready and we're like going to be taking notes, and we'll be watching the film through and then giving our critique afterwards. So
yeah, we're not going to pause it. Yeah, we're not going to pause it while we're doing this. We're just going to watch it all the way through and then give our notes about that. And John, before we get into it, we have our first video queued up. We're getting really close. We have a kind of a big announcement, something we've been working on for a little bit that we are very excited about. And John, I'm just going to let you take it away and talk about it for a minute.
Oh my gosh, good. Well, I'm so excited about this, and we've been planning this for actually kind of years, like back and forth chewing on what we would want to do. And today we are announcing How to Film Weddings Plus. HTFW Plus is what we're calling it. And this is going to be a $7.99 a month subscription. And a lot of you ask, like, how can I support? What can I do to be a part of this? We believe in this mission. We want to support the How to Film Weddings community, and this is what we're doing for it. And it's something that we want to give you more value than what you get. And so included in this new How to Film Weddings Plus subscription is going to be a live access podcast recording once a month, where you can join live on something like this, and we will record a podcast. You can see the behind the scenes, and then you can ask questions, live Q&A at the end. Then that podcast will be posted. So that'll just be for our HTFW Plus members, that live access. Next would be front of the line access to our film reviews. So if you want to be a part of a film review, this will bump you up to be closer to the front of the line so you can get your films reviewed. As you can imagine, with a group of tens of thousands, we get lots of submissions. And if you want to increase your chances of getting a film reviewed, you get bumped to the front of the line. Then Nick, you and I are doing something different. It's not going to be every month, but when we put out new films, we're going to be doing some wedding film breakdowns where we walk through, like, shot by shot. We're going to play our film in a similar setting to this and stop and say, this is what lens I used. This is how I got around this situation. You can ask us questions. So many people have just asked me about my Guatemala film, how I did it. What was the color? What was all these different things. And I'm so excited next month to break that down. Moving forward, our mastermind group, Nick, this is a big one. It opens up in January. And this is going to give you front of the line mastermind review access. You're going to be front of the line before we put it out to the public to be considered to join our mastermind group. It always sells out. Also, exclusive behind the scenes wedding content. Nick and I will be taking videos and photos just at weddings. Special HTFW promo codes, so you'll never pay full price for any of our stuff. And then we're going to content archive all of this stuff. We're going to put everything in an archive so you can go back and watch it. It's going to be $7.99 a month. But Nick, tell them the good news. Tell them the good news.
Yeah, we know that this is something new. And so you're probably like, oh, I don't know about that. So we're going to give you a month free. And so you can see it on there if you want to scan with the QR code, or you can go to htfwplus.com and it's already set up. You don't even have to put in a promo code or anything. You will get 30 days for free with that to check that out. So anyway, there it is. We're really, really excited about all of that stuff. So there we go.
All right. I think I'm ready to get into the first film. Nick, who is this film by? Where is it from? What do we want to do that?
Yes. The first one is the Soul Collective. They're based in Michigan. And here we are. So Blake, whenever you play this, you can just put the video full screen and we'll just sit back and watch it. And then you can pull us up on screen afterwards and we will talk about it. So again, we're just going to watch this all the way through and then we will be making our notes and we will talk about it when we are done. So Blake, let's do it.
Let's go.
So when I met Adeline, she asked me, she goes, so what kind of person are you? I said, I'm caring, I'm loving, yada, yada, yada. And I'll never forget it because I said, well, what are you like? And she goes, well, I'm a traditionalist with a modern twist. You got it. I mean, you follow that to a T and it lives up to this day.
So Adeline is amazing. You all know that. She is infectious. Every room she walks into, she's just makes everyone smile. She makes everyone feel welcome. She makes everyone laugh, and always, always, always is the star. So we're just really grateful that you are having this moment and this love with Joe, and we're all here to experience it.
Discreet feel it.
God. Wow.
I want to commend the couple for committing to 3 marriages. Usually when you've been married 3 times, you choose 3 different people, but not them. So it's a big commitment, and that must really speak a lot about your relationship when you've done it 3 times, you know, in front of Mother Nature. As you know, they were in Montana. Last Sunday in front of God. They were in church. And finally here in front of all of us.
Here's Mama. Want to see Mama? Look how pretty Mama looks. Look how pretty Mama looks.
Love you.
We're finally here. We're finally here. Hi, Joe.
Take you, Adeline,
Take you, Adeline,
to be my wedded wife.
to be my wedded wife.
I, Adeline,
Take you, Joe,
take you, Joe,
to be my wedded husband.
to be my wedded husband.
To have and to hold
From this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better or worse,
For richer or for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish.
to love and to cherish, according to God's holy will.
And I pledge to you my faithfulness.
And I pledge to you my faithfulness.
and I pledge to you my faithfulness.
Now that Joe and Adeline have committed themselves to each other in holy matrimony and have given themselves to each other by their solemn pledges, and have declared the same before God and these witnesses, I pronounce them to be husband and wife in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
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 I'm pleased to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Connor Joe. You may kiss your bride.
Joe is certainly one of the greatest individuals I will ever meet. He has a special way of bringing out the best in people and making the most out of every moment. He's been there for me through tough times, laughed with me through good times, and he's always had my back. He's determined and patient when it comes to achieving his dreams, both professionally and personally. This is only topped by his years of commitment to his relationship with Adeline, which brings us here together today. I can remember the phone call when he met someone in Vegas. A flight attendant, Adeline. As I played witness to the relationship growing through the years, I came to see they are truly the perfect pair. Both unique, tremendous individuals on their own. Together, they're even better.
All right. Well done.
Okay. Yes.
Well
yes.
done.
Very, very well done.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take some notes real quick here.
Yes.
Kind of score this. I think we should write down our scores before we talk. Do you like that idea? Or do you want to talk?
I do.
Yeah.
I do like that idea. So,
all right.
All
right. I'm good.
Are we doing point fives?
No, I don't think we should. I don't think we should. What do you guys think in the comments? Do you think we should do 0.5? Because that'd be fun. No, I don't think we should. I think and just as a reminder on how this is going to work, we have 5 different categories: cinematography, audio, editing, story, and color. Nick and I can judge each one of these from a 1 to a 5, 5 being blow your mind, 1 being this needs a ton of work, 3 being factory industry standard. So a score of a 30 would mean you are doing a great job with your wedding films. There's things you could improve on, but you're going to always book weddings. This is great. So with that being said, like a score of a 3 or something is industry standard, 4 is above average, 5 is excellent. So yeah. All right, Nick, I'm going to throw it to you. I've given you some time. This is fun and also not fun. What was your score overall? And then we can break down.
So, okay, we want to do overall what my score was.
Why don't you do them one at a time and then
Okay. Well, let me start by talking about the couple of things that I thought that Noah.
Just give your score. Just give your score. Then we'll talk about it.
Oh, the total score? That's what you want me to
give? Give your scores. I don't know, whichever you want to do, one at a time. But then we'll break down and talk about
total for me. I am doing a 16.
Okay.
16. Okay. And I will break that down here in a second. First of all, with the cinematography, the shooting, that sort of stuff. I love the handheld feel. That's something that Jen and I do in our business, Wild Oak Films. Yes, sir.
Can you just give your score and then you and I can both talk about each category together?
Okay.
Like if you get like cinematography, this. Okay. I think I like.
So
that.
I did.
If you don't like it, we'll do it different on the next one.
Okay. Cinematography 3. The audio was a 3. The editing I made a 4. The story was a 3, and the color was a 3.
Okay. On mine, I might be a little bit harsher of a judge here, so this is going to be fun. Am I Simon Cowell? Take it.
Yeah, you are.
I gave it a 14 overall, which is just almost there. It's not below factory standard, but industry standard. A factory standard just come. So I gave a 3 on everything but story, and story is my big thing that I lean into. And I just wasn't like pulled into like their story. There was so much that was there, like with the sun or like it wasn't bad. It probably should have been a 3, but I think I'm going to be harder on story. So it gave it a 14. So the 14 and your 16 make it a 30, which is this film was awesome. And so that I was trying to find a place to critique because everything was good. Everything was working. But there wasn't too much about it that was just like, boom, like, yes, let's freaking go. So now we can get into, so overall 30, that's what we have.
Yeah. Overall 30. Where I will say that this was incredible. And I put editing as a 4, and that primarily had to do with the audio transitions between songs. All of the songs were in the same key. They hit so well. It was just like, you almost didn't know that you had 3 or 4 different songs in here. Okay. Just because
I had an idea.
Okay. What's your idea?
My idea is if we can argue each other to pull each other's score up or down. Okay.
Yeah. I agree.
Because you're saying that, I'm like, that's a good point. Okay.
Yeah. The audio or the music selection with that was really, really good. That was one thing that I noticed, but probably because I was looking for it. Okay. With the shooting, the big thing that I love that story that the bridesmaid gave of, this is their 3rd marriage and their 3rd wedding and all that kind of stuff. But right in the middle of it, you move the camera pretty abruptly.
Yeah.
And I understand, with that moment you want to capture that, but like that would have been something that I would have cut to something else and then come back to, because that was really, really jarring with that one. That ceremony, I'm sure was rough, and you were just because it was so bright. It did, even though it was so bright, I think that you maybe should have pulled it down just a little bit. But I mean, that's just me kind of nitpicking, looking for things again. And
so are you breaking down your whole thoughts on all the
I don't
film?
know. We've never done this before.
I know. I'm wondering if we should both talk about like the shooting, the cinematography, that stuff, and then move to the next one, kind of like efficiently go through it.
Okay. So cinema again, that camera movement during the toast, that overexposed during the ceremony. And again, I know that was tough. And then I would say all of the reception stuff with the white balance. It was just really orange. And I know that you were in a wood barn, and I get it. And it's hard because it was still light outside while that was going on. So, but those are my notes on things to look at.
On the cinematography, for me, I gave it a 3. It was great. The things that, like, again, I feel like it all flows together, especially with the story, is like mama's coming or whatever. And it's like, I can't see what he's saying. I can't see that kid's, I can't see the emotion. I know that obviously was a moment that you weren't necessarily even knowing was happening, but like lens choices for certain things. I know your handheld vibe and stuff. To me, there was a lot of unnecessary camera movement and certain things that should have been a little, like Nick mentioned, the speech that just kind of moved over, or there was, and just like the shot selection and different, the shots of people getting on the gondola, and like, just how could we make that a little more like cinematic, or how could we get something a little more out of that, was what I was thinking. I think everything was good, but it was like, I didn't feel like there was like the creative side of it. There wasn't too much on the creativity. All right. So cinematography 3, great job. Could have been better. I made a couple of notes about photographer being in a shot on one, or just different little things like that, but overall good job. Next, Nick, audio and sound.
Yeah. I gave this a 3. I thought the audio, the dialogue sounded fine. The officiant, when he was kind of pronouncing them, there was that weird echo, but but there might not have been much you could have done with it. I know that an echo like that is really, really hard to fix. So there was that. My biggest things were, it's way more immersive if you include, the ambient noises, people getting ready, just that room noise, that stuff, when you're outside. When I'm thinking of the audio, I'm thinking about a lot about that, the ambient. I liked how you started off, with the kind of drone room, whatever it's called, whatever those things are called, that noise, the pad. There you go. That's what I was. So, and there was some stuff in there. I noticed, like, whenever they were walking out, and they at the end with the baton things that people were shaking around, included room noise and that. And so you did include that stuff, but I think more makes it more immersive. And I think in a film that we just got back from our editor, and I was looking at it, there wasn't much of that. And it felt like the film dragged a little bit. And I know from experience that if you put that stuff in, you don't have to like change the speed or change anything. And it makes it so it keeps pace a little bit. It's just more interesting. So there you go.
Yeah. As for audio and sound, I actually almost like, this one was definitely a solid 3, but there were some moments in my mind where it was like, this needs like the efficient right after pronouncing. But the main thing, like Nick is saying, is just, we saw shots of boats in the water. We didn't hear the water. We didn't hear anything on drone shots to like make you feel like you're in nature. And we were obviously out in nature. And so including those things, just like adding that would bump that into that, above average, taking it to the next level. Those are the little things that make a film more immersive. So overall, and the other thing, I don't know where this falls in. It's probably in the editing, which is next, but like, who is talking during a speech? It was forever at one point. It was like, we heard a speech going. I'm like, who is this talking? Who is this talking? Finally, I get to see who it is that is talking. So that's probably in the edit, but overall sound solid. There wasn't, like, the audio was clear for vowels and different things. This is definitely passable audio. Taking it to that next level would be those sound effects, or and like Nick said, with the key changes and different, like all that stuff, like the songs went together well. So good job on that. Next, Nick, your forte is editing. Let's talk editing, what you thought of that.
Yeah. Again, I mentioned about the song transitions. I thought that those were really nice. I really like the kind of speed ramp it was between like I think the third and the fourth song where, they're playing golfing and they,
Yeah.
I really like that. It was a little jarring to me because it was like, okay, where we just finished the ceremony and now the guys are golfing, which
that
like
confused
it
me.
just like that sort of thing confusing. But I thought that this was edited well together. I thought you did a good job. I thought there was a great balance between nature and setting stuff up and people and all the stuff that was going on. I thought it was a great balance. It didn't overwhelm me with one over the other. So
Yeah, I feel like the editing, to me, everything seemed clean. It made sense. Definitely a 3 for me. There wasn't anything about it to me. I think that speed ramp where it was like cutting fast and stuff, mixed in with sound effects. My note was, I wish I would have heard like audio from each of those clips or from some of those clips when it was cutting faster, cheering for just a little cut and little, like hearing the sound of that clip as it was building probably would have made it that much better. But yeah, editing was solid. I'm going to talk about story because this is the only 2 that was given. I think that I'm still sitting here at 2 because although I do know some of the story, sometimes there's a wedding where it's just like, this is really difficult to figure out like any kind of story or any kind of anything. I think you could have pushed harder to get more of the story filmed. Like, I feel like, and so maybe it's a 3. It's right there on the border for me, but like what I'm looking for is I want to know more about their kid. I want to know more about their story. I want to lean into that. Like, we could have built talking about like this moment with this dad and his son, and like it was a son, right? I was kind of like writing notes. I feel like I'm okay. So his son, and here comes mom, and here comes. It's like if there were a couple more moments leading up to it that we recorded during the day, if we would have figured out a little more of their story, we could have shown some of their footage of them together as a family when talking about their 3 weddings, and they're like, there just could have been more from the story. And I was like, just not there. Like, I kind of got lost in what is the story? Where is the storyline going? Is it like, it wasn't clear to me, like this is building this story that's got this climax of maybe the kiss of the reception or ceremony, or I just kind of felt like it was good. It needed a little bit of work to me though. So that's where, to me, it was like, I'm gonna give that one a 2. What are your thoughts on the story, Nick?
Yeah, I agree. I think it was like a solid, fine, good, like you just kind of took what you were given and you put it together as best as you could. I think that a lot of people would kill for the audio that you got and, be really excited about that. So I thought it was, yes, it was a little, there could have been more, but I was fine with it.
Yeah, and I'm looking in the comments, like I have no context, Noah, I think, is posting, it was definitely complicated. The original contract was canceled because of this and moved. So, and I'm just looking at it as just an objective looking at it.
Right.
Okay. Last thing, color. Nick, you mentioned this a little bit. Thoughts?
I think that if your reception stuff would have matched a little bit better, this probably could have been a 4 for me on the color. All this stuff outside looked really, like everything where the lighting was really nice. It looked really, really good. And it was just that stuff in there that it was just really, really orange. And again, I know you're working against a really orange room with window light and overhead light. So like, I get why it was really difficult, but I think that was really the biggest thing for me.
I'm in the exact same boat. I wanted to give it a 4. It was definitely industry standard or above on most all of the shots.
This would have been a 3.5. I think if we were doing halves, I would have given it a 3.5.
Yeah. Let us know if we should do halves, but I don't think we should. I think that for me, it was a 3 there. So I'm going to stick with my score of 14. Great job. Nick gave it a 16. So that gives it a 30. Good job. All right. Let us know in the comments. You guys like this? We went a little over. We're 5 minutes behind, but we're doing okay. That took a minute for us to get. I'm putting this over here. Again, we just noticed that Jake Weisler still in the comments. He's going to be signing autographs on lens caps after this. So just send him a DM about autographs on lens caps. All right. What do we have next?
Next, I believe we have DE Media Design is up. So, Yeah. So Blake,
you want to
why
tell them
don't
about
you
HTF+? You want to wait till the next
Yeah,
one?
we'll do that after. We'll try to make up a little time here. So Blake,
All right,
hit
good.
play here.
I know nobody wants to hear me talk for too long tonight because I think we all want to dance tonight when we get our booty groove going on. I just want to say I cried during the ceremony. I don't think anybody could tell because it was sunny, but I was just barely holding it together.
Nice.
Over the past 9 years, Christy has not only become my best friend, but truly the sister I never had. I was literally standing by her side the moment that she met this guy that I like to call Tigger, but you guys know as David. She walked up to him and grabbed his tail on his tiger costume and said, "Tigger, where's Pooh?" Ever since then, me and my friend Lexi, before she went on her first date with David, sent in our group message the Hannah Montana song, "He Could Be the One." And since then, I'm so grateful that David ended up being the one.
Christy, as soon as I saw you, I knew a grand adventure was about to begin. It's true, the most beautiful things in life come at the most unexpected moments. I like to think that's the story of you and me. From the very beginning, we are meant to be.
We are gathered here in the presence of God, family, and friends to unite Christy and David in holy matrimony. Love is patient and kind, never jealous or envious. Love is never glad about injustice, but rejoices whenever truth wins out. If you love someone, you will be loyal to them, no matter what the cost.
David Oliver, who would have thought a dark, crowded, loud basement bar in a tiger costume would lead to the most beautiful day? You are the kindest, most genuine, patient, loving, selfless, and thoughtful person I have ever met. I admire you and look up to all the good you bring to this world. I feel deeply overjoyed and honored that you chose me to be your wife.
I think Christy is like the chillest person ever, which is crazy because we're best friends. But then, like, seeing David, I'm like, I did not know anyone could be more relaxed than Christy is. And he is.
I can't believe this has actually happened. But I love seeing my whole family here, all the girls, my mom, my dad, my brother. We've been here together. You've been in my life since the very beginning. I've known you for all my existence, literally all the way back to my farthest memories. You've been there.
Today we make a lifelong commitment to each other. Another significant milestone in our grand adventure checked off. Today is the happiest day of my life.
I promise my love for you will grow each day. I will be there for you through whatever life throws at us, in joys and in sorrows. Today and every day so forth, I choose you to be my husband.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
I love you both, and may God bless this couple. May they have a wonderful marriage and bountiful children, and let's dance the night away tonight, all right?
been praying for this man for years and years, and I know I've been praying for this for them for years and years, and I hope we all continue to pray for them in the years to come. Congratulations to Olivers. I love you guys, and let's celebrate.
Okay.
I gotta think here for a second.
All right. You get to go first this time, though.
I know.
Because
I do.
I went first last
Okay.
time. I went first last time. So
Okay.
oh, all right.
All right.
And we're
Oh.
keeping no 0.5s, right? Just
I think
making
so.
sure.
Did we?
Okay. I don't know. I mean, the chat's on there, but I'm not really paying attention to it.
Oh my gosh, there's like 89. Oh my gosh,
I
89
know.
people watching. I'm nervous now. See you guys. Okay. I don't want to be the guy that just goes straight threes, but this one to me, I'm giving this one a 15 out of 15. Straight threes, very solid work, very good. Several areas were almost a 4 for me. I'll get into that in a second. But yeah, I think this is really solid film. So yeah, I'm gonna go 3s on all categories, straight up 15 for me. Nick?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same. I think I'm gonna do the
Oh,
same.
you should have already written it down.
Well, I did already write it down, but
okay.
I mean, it's right there. There were, yeah, very solid. There are a few things that maybe I would have thought about doing a little bit differently, but that's okay. So we can
let's get into it.
Chat about that. So okay, you start.
So cinematography, like looking at my notes on like what I'm looking for cinematography, I'm thinking camera movement, creativity, composition, technique, and fundamentals. And that's in our notes there, Nick, at the bottom of the page that I forgot to look at earlier. So this to me, the shots weren't shaky. They were composed outside of the speeches, I think. So I felt like the composition for most of the shots were great. There was some creativity in the shots on the bridge, which was fun for me to see. The technique seemed good. The fundamentals were all there. So that's why I'm giving this one a 3. I was looking through my notes to see if there's anything that, mainly the things that I'm thinking about are like those speech angles, the speech cameras, like just making those a little more, they just felt like a little awkward to me, like the angles, where they were sitting, how they were shot, that sort of thing. I don't know if it was one camera or 2 cameras. It just felt like I felt a little lacking there. Other than that, like it was bumping for me. I like bumping the 3.5 if we were doing halves. Like it was good or better than good. So
yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I agree with you. So much very solid shots, nothing too shaky, composed well, that stuff. Yeah, the toast thing was a little, and that's the just the issue of the toaster deciding to kind of move around and not do, necessarily, but I probably, and I don't know what the ceremony, I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of window light. And so if you would have moved your camera more to the left, it might've been really bad back. I don't know. There's that stuff. The thing that, and I'm sure, that you messed with that was just that sign flickering back behind. But I mean, that's one of those things that even if you, sometimes you can minimize that by, changing to 24p and then like lowering your shutter lower than you're quote unquote supposed to, or, it can minimize it, but it doesn't always fix it. And so, that one, it was annoying, but I'm forgiving that one just based on the situation.
Sure.
So, I would say solid 3 with
solid 3. There were some shots that were pushing into the 4, and the creativity, it was like almost there for me. Brought it back down with just some of the shots when it comes to the speeches and things like that. But fundamentally, great job. Nothing to complain about. Looks like you were doing a great job. Nick, audio and sound. design, similar to the first film. Like I heard like the little psh, psh of the, it was a little loud. I think it could be a little more subtle, but it was like with slow motion, and it kind of like it was almost there. It was trying. So it was like, okay, this is like more than just your standard on audio. There were times where we were outside where I kept just like wanting to feel like we were outside. You could hear dialogue, but maybe you could see something outside, but you couldn't hear birds chirping. You couldn't hear wind. There was no, like, just kind of pulled me back out when it came to the audio. Also, big thing for me, and I know we've talked to Darian about this as in our mastermind group about like plugging into the board. She's using a little Tascam or a little Sony TX660, it looks like, on the mic for the speeches. And I think she just took that audio, which I would want that to be my backup audio. And to like that is a 3 kind of audio for me. Like that's good. It's but it would have been that much more in like intentional through the board. And so there was those little things that kind of brought it down for me. But overall, there was nothing really too loud, really too quiet. The music was fun, like that kind of stuff. So I felt like the music might have been trying to push too like vibey for this couple. It made it but I don't know. I couldn't really tell, but those are my main thoughts. Maybe I have more. What else do you have to add?
Yeah, I'm the same on all that stuff, just with the audio stuff, more for ambient sound design, that kind of thing. And I think that I know that when I really started delving into that, it was like I would be conscious of it for like the first 30 or 45 seconds of the film. And then I was like, oh, I need to do this for the next 5 minutes and just kind of give up a little bit was kind of my mentality. And so push through that and, add in those things. Again, it's going to take it up a level. To me, the officiant audio was a little quiet. It just sounded like that was one where I actually had to like lean in a little bit, even though I have an earbud in and I can hear it. But like that was with that one. So
did the leaning help you when you leaned?
Yeah, I wish. Let's so both of us 3 on that. The editing, okay. I think my biggest suggestion, my biggest critique with this is overall, I felt that the music was too hype for how fast the cuts were happening. And there was a lot of slow motion stuff that was happening when the music was really hype. I think that's my biggest critique about that. Again, I think that it was fine and there was lots of good stuff going on. Like that first song, I thought did a really great job. I would have liked it. It maybe could have helped where, the best man or whatever is like, all right, let's get our, booties bouncing on the dance floor or whatever. And then like cut like a hard cut to people like going crazy on the dance floor. If there was, I don't know, there might not have been, but I'm like, just that sort of stuff. And then again, there was lots of slow motion with the high energy music. So
I wrote down slow motion with purpose. I think that was a critique I gave her in the mastermind group. She put in the comments that the couple wanted a party video, so that makes sense. But yeah, like on the editing, there was a lot of cool stuff, especially that intro was like real cool. And that one to me, like I almost gave a 4 on the editing for some of these things and what we're looking for on the editing side of things. Your pacing, your creativity, your technique, your flow, and your skill is kind of what we wrote down for these editing things. And at the beginning, especially with some of these reverse shots or things, I mean, you're definitely above the normal, like what you're seeing in a wedding film. Like, so that was really good. Again, that would have been a 3.5 for me. So yes, go ahead.
One other thing that I was thinking that I thought of, I did some of the order of things was a little like, for instance, we see the bridesmaid or the bride and all of the bridesmaids walking together. And then we see the bride putting her dress on. And I think that might've been while the like her maid of honor was speaking. So maybe you're trying to tie something into there, but like, at least in my mind, it's okay to do couple and like, maybe if you have a cold open, but still there should be some, if we're going to show the groomsmen, like we should have the groom get ready before we see the groomsmen, like all together doing their kind of stuff. So
that's a good point.
Just stuff like that. Story, again, I thought it was fine. It was solid. Like there wasn't anything, to be upset about or to say, nope, this wasn't great. I really like that Tigger story. And I think that if you wouldn't have had the maid of honor tell that story about her pulling his tail, and then you would have read that in the letter like that, there would have been a disconnect there. Like, what are you talking about, Tigger? Okay, that's just a little inside joke. So I like how you piece those two things together.
John? Yeah, that's why I gave a 3. I think what for me was story, like what brings it to a 4, like to the next level, is include like really as the filmmaker knowing more about their story before the wedding day and figuring out ways to incorporate their actual story into the story. Not saying you need to include home footage and everything or whatever, but just like really, questions, teeing them up of like, tell me more about your story. Tell me how you guys met. Tell me, like, that's just for like me and my style, but like the storytelling in general was very solid. I think that to take it to the next level, the wedding films I'm seeing that are going to that next level with story, you're thinking about pin weddings, or you're thinking about some of these stories that we're seeing being put out that are going to be above the industry standard or blow your mind with like, how did they get this story? Those are the extra hours and hard to do when you're shooting lots and lots of weddings. So I'm not saying that that's even a critique for me. I think that it was very good. Lastly, on color, Nick, we're looking, on color for cohesiveness, technique. Does it enhance the film? And then just the skill set with the color. I'll point out like the obvious like reception room while it was still sunlight out. That's a hard one.
That's really difficult
without some really powerful lights, or the positioning of where the speech givers were. You've got sunlight coming through, you've got tungsten light, you've got a big mixed light. So I don't know what I would have done too much differently. So I can't really, outside of knowing the timeline and saying, hey, we should do these speeches in 30 minutes when the sun is down. I think that kind of thing is what's going to take it over for me on the color for speeches and things. But throughout the film, the consistency, the color was great. I was going to give this one either a 3.5 or 4 outside of the speech audio or speech color, but I really don't even know what she could have done to change that. So that one was like the one I was like, is that a 4? And then I was like, I can't give that a 4 because the color on a film that I would give a 4 is just absolutely next level. So
okay, and I agree. Those are the exact same things that I would be at. Yep. So we are here at saying that this is another 30. So good.
Was the first one a 30? Oh yeah, I did. I was the
yeah.
All right. Okay, I'll point out to some of you guys in the comments are asking how this works. Just as a quick reminder, and that Nick and I each have 25 points to give out, 5 different categories to judge upon: cinematography, audio and sound design, editing, story, and color. And so a 3 is going to be your industry standard, 4 is going to be above average knowledge, and 5 is going to be excellence in like next level industry, setting the pace, never seen much better than that. Like that's going to be your 5s. So we're 2 films in. Nick, what do we have next?
Next, I believe that we have The Holes, photo and film,
and we're only 4 minutes behind your schedule. Boom.
Yeah, man, we're keeping up. So, all right, Blake, hit play on that beautiful video.
I truly cannot think of a more beautiful place for this occasion than Savannah to witness their marriage, and for all of us who are lucky to know and to love them, to celebrate as they embark on this journey together.
That's
Although
awesome.
I think if Billy had it his way, we would probably all be at peace.
My favorite story of Billy and Tierney is the night that they got engaged and the days leading up to it. As her sister, it was my job to make sure her nails were done, she had makeup on, and she wore a cute outfit. In classic Tierney fashion, she was being difficult. She didn't want to get her nails done, and she wanted to chop her hair. Flash forward to October 17th, she had her nails done, her hair wasn't chopped, and Billy's proposal at Louis on the water at sunset was perfect.
So, long before we were friends, my first memory of Billy was during a PAL baseball game, probably like the 3rd or 4th grade. And I was up to bat, and Billy was playing first base, and I hit a weak ground ball, to the left side, and, I slowly plodding my way down to first, and the throw was a little high, and I accidentally barreled into Billy as he jumped up to get it and took him out real hard. And so, you know, I was happy, but I look over and little Billy hops up off the dirt, cheeks all red in a huff, and the next moments were probably some of the most expletive-filled moments that I had experienced to that point. You know, we're like 9 years old.
I don't think too many parents get a chance to watch two young people meet each other, date each other, go through high school, go through college, come back, live together, and then have this love that turns into a beautiful marriage. It's like I had a front row seat to see the two of them completely grow up, and I'm just very proud of both of them and the way they've always been.
We are all gathered here today to celebrate and witness the joining of William Henry Riggin IV and Tierney Devon Flynn in marriage. The best moment in life is when you meet the person who makes you feel so complete and the person who makes the world feel so beautiful and magical. For Billy, that moment happened when he laid eyes on a pretty girl in elementary school.
Don't take it for granted. Love divine. I felt heaven and my world collide.
Billy was very patient, and as fate would have it, he got placed next to our sweet Tierney in bio class in the 10th grade. And while Tierney was busy studying biology, Billy was busy working on their chemistry. I was fortunate enough to get to watch their young love and relationship grow and blossom over so many years. It became very clear that they were tied to one another. Tierney and Billy both complement and balance one another. We know that they're incredible individuals on their own, but together they're even better.
COVID was all around, and we had to have Tierney back in the house doing her Fox work. And then Billy would come by, and he would have to do his lawyering. I was just like, and Carrie would come home and go, well, how was it today? And I'm like, it was unbelievable. Tierney's over there in a meeting talking to Rupert Murdoch and telling him how to do stuff. Billy's on the phone, got all his clients. Yep, you got to get up there, make sure you wear this, make sure you do that. And I was like, these two are like the consummate professionals at what they do. I was like totally blown away.
Highs and lows. You were with me when it hurt the most. Felt the sunlight in your heart of gold. And it's all I've ever wanted.
Over the years, you know, going from a really stubborn guy to like a little less stubborn guy. Going from staunch conservative to raging liberal. Going from a journalist to a public defender where he's truly doing work that he loves, which is great. And going from little Billy that only knew how to make Kraft mac and cheese to a man ready to start the next phase of his life. Only thing that hasn't changed over all these years is Billy's kind heart and the love he has for Tierney.
All of us, their intention to take each other as husband and wife, and we can pledge them to each other by the authority vested in me pursuant to the laws of the state of New York. I do now declare that they are husband and wife. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs.
Billy, you may kiss the bride. Woo! I'm so excited to present for the very first time Mr. and Mrs. Riggin.
Know my imperfection. I thought I learned my lesson. That I'd never be loved by someone like you. You've changed up my direction, but sometimes I still question how I was worth the love of someone like you. someone like you.
Each and every one of you are down here as a smaller group, and don't think that there wasn't a lot of cuts about who was coming and who wasn't. So you guys should feel good about being here because this is the best party group that we're gonna have.
Show you how it's done. Let me show you, let me show you, let me show you, let me show you, let me show you how it's done. Let me show you, let me show you, let me show you, let me show you,
All right.
Okay.
And taking some notes. I had to bounce there for a second.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw you dancing a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
This is one where I wish I could do some 0.5s. I mean, I know it's
Okay.
my thing and I'm in charge,
Okay.
but we haven't done it for anyone else, so we're not going to do it for this one. But
Maybe next time.
maybe next time.
I think that I like it without the 0.5 because it really makes you like it's okay. You know, it's okay that it was close. But I've got my score written down and I want to make sure both of us have our scores written down before either gives. While you're finishing yours.
I have it written down and circled.
Okay, cool. I went first last time, so give me your score.
Overall, I'm giving this a 17.
Well done. 17. You want me to tell you my score?
I do.
Overall, I have a 17 as well.
All righty.
Really
How
good
about
film.
that? Yes.
Really good film.
Yes.
So cinema. What did you have?
Yeah.
I had a 3. I put a 3.
I put a 3. A few things. One, that was probably one of the windiest ceremonies that I have ever seen in my life, and
They played with it. It was good.
They played with it. It was good. With that, there were a few gimbal movements that I'm sure that you were moving quick. You know, that from the ceremony angle as you were like pulling back and stuff, like there were lots of bouncing or some camera movement. So that was a big reason for that one. Also, the composure of the toasts was what I wrote down. Like lots and lots of headroom. I mean, you did cut the best man off at the waist, which if you're going to cut someone off while filming, make sure it's at a joint. Just letting you know, don't ever cut off feet either. But those are my two like really, really big things that I could have said that this was a 4, potentially 3.5 if it wouldn't have been those two things really stood out to me.
Same thing on the cinematography, like just thinking about the composition of shots. I wrote down way too much headroom, framing of speech giver, just like a couple of those things. I think maybe the speech, the dad in the middle of the room, just like maybe that was impromptu, maybe it wasn't. It just felt like one of those things. It's like, I'm happy he had a mic on because it seems like that's not where I would have put him or anything. So yeah, like the footage, there was a couple times where it was like the camera like was moving on a gimbal. Like I think that's what you were saying that stood out to me. But overall, very well done. On the audio, I also gave it a 3. Pushed up to close to 4 just by fixing that wind noise. But yeah, go ahead.
If it wouldn't have been for the last best man toast where the music was too loud and then he was softer, I probably would have given this one a 4 in that one. Because like just cleaning up that, and I know there was a dead cat. That's what they called the fuzzy thing that was on the officiants to help with that. But that's
Matt Johnson just commented, now I know why everybody left my live stream. Side note, Wedding Film School and Matt Johnson and us did a live stream today, and it was totally not on purpose. And I had to message both of them. The Wedding Film School guy's like, I'm sorry, we'll push it back an hour. And Matt was like, I'm sorry. I'm not cheating off of Nick's notes, guys. I've got my notes right here They're right there. Anyway, audio for me, again, I would have pushed it over to a 4. Like doing what you did with that wind, like taking that out. I just feel like I don't know if you, I don't know. Like I feel like it was missing some of like obviously the lower end. I don't know how you like. It needs professional help. I don't know, like to do what you did with that. Like I would have totally ruined it. So good job on the audio. My main thing that kept me at 3 on the audio, and this is kind of in the editing or in the music, kind of, but like there was a lot of like the audio just kind of like came in real fast from speaking, and like, or it cut really hard, like, or something wasn't muted. There wasn't
I kind of included that on the editing side of thing, but yes, that was going to be my comment too.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's kind of the idea that was thinking about, was just like, there was some jarring moments when it came to either song transitions. I kept writing audio transition, audio transition between somebody speaking and going out or coming back in. And again, I'm sure there was some kind of something that made it need to be a hard cut, but that stood out to me. So that's why the audio is a 3. Editing for me, also a 3. Nick, I think it was very solid. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing just blew me away either, though.
The biggest things that I will say why with the editing of these was just the transitions, specifically between songs, or there were lots of time, like when the dad he made that thing about COVID, you heard him say so COVID,
little things,
just like little things like that. But then again, like I wrote down the transition specifically from the iPhone marriage to them being pronounced at their wedding to this video. And that was just an abrupt. And I think that there's something to do with the audio as well with that. So, but if you, Randy, Hillary, if you nail down those like transitions, like the transit, this is like next level. We're going to go into story, and I, by deducing, we have both given this a 4. Am I right?
Yes.
Including the footage, including how, like specifically the best man doing that toast and talking about baseball. And then you got baseball footage of him as a little kid, like all worked out really well. How you put everything together. The story was there, and it was good. Great job.
It was next level. The story was next level in a lot of parts. There was a lot that could have been like even better, but I'm a sucker for home footage in the appropriate way. I wish that I would have heard some of the audio from some of it, like that I was like, man, cool. I wish I could have hear what they're saying in it. I don't know if you got the audio from them or whatever, but like that would have been another layer that would have pushed that up potentially into that story being a 5 for me. But yeah, I feel like I knew who this couple were. I know what they do for a job. I know what all these things stood out to me. I knew about them, and it was put together in a way that was easy to understand. And so, yeah, like that side of stuff with the story and learning a little bit more about their backstory pushed me up over to the 4. And then the last category, color, I gave this a 4. I think that it was super consistent throughout, whether indoors or outdoor. There was no technical errors. You had to deal with some daylight it looked like speech time for dad, I think so, or some first dances but like overall it was better than average for sure.
For sure.
And I felt like you could feel their style with that light and bright. I kept being like, that's not how I would have done that. But then I was realizing like, but that's how they did it on purpose. And it looks good. Like it's what they wanted it to look like.
And this is one where also the color fits with how they filmed and their style. Like there wasn't a lot of like that handheld movement, because I know that they are wanting to go to more of a higher end client. So there was lots of holding the shots, having people walk away, that kind of thing. And that just fits really, really well with the color. So
it was really good.
Really good. Randy
really
and
good
Hillary.
Stuff. Good job.
Savannah, my favorite city in the world. I don't want to talk about it.
That wasn't where you went, was it? I thought it was Charleston that you're.
Oh, yeah. Savannah was fine. I went to Savannah. It was Charleston. I don't want to talk about Charleston.
A couple things before we get into the next film. Nick, if you're just joining, I see a lot of new faces in here, especially a bearded face. We have 5 different categories to judge, and then each one of them get up to 5 points. We have cinema, audio, editing, story, and color. A 5 is an industry, like setting the industry standard top of the line. Down to a 1 being like needs major improvement. Nick and I each have 25 points to award, and anybody that gets over like these are going to be hard to get a 38, which is going to be the majority 4s and above. It's going to get an honorable distinction. And if you get over a 45, we're going to give you a badge to put on your website saying this is
38 or a 35.
Right. I'm sorry.
38 or 45. They're both,
right.
But yeah.
But the like in a what do we have a name for the 45 or above? Like an official, we wrote it down
an
somewhere.
official selection.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds
it'll
great.
It'll be number 10, Blake.
Yeah. So anyway, we want to, like, we're going to be very hard on these. We're going to be very kind, but hopefully you're seeing how great this is to break down different categories. And maybe it's going to make you think about the way you're doing your things in your film. Maybe your audio is really good, but your editing's not really good, or your color is really good, but your cinematography is not really good. So these 5 kind of for us encapsulate a wedding film. And so, yeah, that's what we're up to. Nick, anything you want to add before we move to the next one?
Again, we launched HTFW Plus today, which is our new subscription program where you can get some behind the scenes stuff and some other things. Blake, maybe we'll throw that up if you want to click that QR code, and you can check that out whenever we are done with that.
Is Blake the one that's putting the comments and the links, or the links in the chat too?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes, he is.
And Nick, you tell him the best part about HTFW Plus. You forgot.
Oh, you get a month free on that.
Free month just for you for today. $7.99 a month is this new subscription service, How to Film Weddings Plus, but your first month is free. Support HTFW and help us to elevate the wedding film industry. All right.
Yeah. So
right,
next is it, I think we have PGP. Is that who it is? Yes, Wedding Films, PGP Wedding Films. This is John, and we're going to go ahead and jump into this one.
He's my favorite person in the world. I love that I never get tired of being with him. Every other human on the planet I get sick of at some point, but somehow it never happens with Dave.
It's fun creating a world with somebody. And I think I'm just excited to keep doing that.
You guys are great. It's just, I haven't been to a wedding this nice ever.
Dave and I met at University of Delaware at Grottoes one night. I knew his cousin Mark from high school. Probably would have been one of those like, hey Mark, how's it going? You know, maybe we don't need to go over and say hi to each other. But he was with this really handsome guy.
Looked to my left, noticed a pretty girl, and I kind of tapped Mark. I said, oh, who's that? I wonder who that is, And he just said, oh, that's Katie Orth. I went to school with her. I've known her since like the 7th grade. And I said, introduce me.
I did that thing where you don't really listen to the other person's name because you're so worried about saying what your name is. And after talking to him for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, he turned and talked to Mark for a second. And I said to Caitlin, like, what was Mark's cousin's name? Because that's going to be important for me to know.
My handsome boy.
before we went on our first date, in that first night at Corrada's, Katie told me she was going to London for a year, and it just never really sunk in. I remember driving, remember exactly where I was on Grub Road, and I remember kind of like looking out the window. I said, well, never mind, this isn't gonna work. And but then we just hit it off so well. You know, I had just moved up to New York, so I was kind of commuting back and forth. So we spent a lot of time on the Jersey Turnpike, and I think that's just sitting in traffic and getting to know each other. It was awesome, but like I said, you know, she was leaving for London in a couple weeks, so it was really bittersweet, you know, where was this gonna go?
You look so handsome. Oh, it's too early for that.
All right.
I can't cry yet. We got a long day to get through.
That's beautiful.
Okay. You look so handsome. Your flowers look really nice.
Pretty.
You ready?
Let's do it.
And ultimately we decided that, you know, all right, let's keep talking. And then it was FaceTime, calls every day. I would wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning when she was walking to work and talk to her. And we just really found, you know, talked anytime we could find. You know, she taught me what it means and how to love somebody, really. She's just, you know, it's so corny and cliche, but she just brings me so much balance.
Dave is so compassionate. He's really caring. He's one of those people who other people who are in need or who are hurt are drawn to him. He's so funny. He's really sweet. He really cares about other people. Excited. I think we worked really hard to get here, and just growing our careers together, growing our relationship, all the good stuff that's coming.
You guys take care of each other now, all right? Kiss.
There is a saying among the Amish, marriage may be made in heaven, but it is man's responsibility for the upkeep. The motto of Salesianum School, which David and others here this morning are graduates, tenui nectamitam, I have taken hold and I will not let go. That celebrates the enduring love which we witness this day in the union of David and Kate.
So one day, shortly after college, I was a bit thrown off when Dave told me of a girl he had met through his cousin Mark. I think to myself, this isn't part of the plan for our 20s. Dave made it quite clear this wouldn't interfere with too many of our grand plans. Katie would soon be leaving to study abroad in England and then Thailand for the fall and winter. And then one Saturday, probably about noon, I shoot Dave a text to see what he's up to. Dave tells me he's on a Zoom video call with Katie. I figure, distance relationship, makes sense to have a Zoom every now and again. I check in with David about 2 or 3, still Zooming. Finally, about 5 or 5:30, I see phones got for happy hour. Still on the Zoom. At this point, I knew my boy was in it deep, and apparently Katie was too, because she came home from that study abroad program just a bit early. My friend, today's the biggest deal you'll ever close. Katie is without question the girl of your dreams, and I'm so happy you found each other. I wish you both love, success, and eternal happiness throughout your journey.
Ladies and gentlemen,
likes to say that we have it so easy. She, as the oldest, had to break in our parents, figure things out through trial and error. But Katie, you should keep in mind that you've created a whole other challenge for your younger siblings by setting the bar so high, especially in the category of choosing a partner for life. I think we can all agree David B is a catch.
When she first went to London, we'd actually decided that we weren't going to talk anymore. And when she left for the airport, and I sent her a message, I said, just in case you change your mind, you know, no pressure, but I would love to keep talking to you, but you know, it's there in case you change your mind. And she did. And so, thank you for that.
Yeah. Oh, nice little tag at the end. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's think here. A lot of good things about this film. This was long though. This was a long
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
So I kept writing down what I think my number was going to be. Then I would mark it out, and then I would mark it back, and then I would trying to cheat a little bit, you know. But
I mean, you're in charge of this, so
yeah. All right. I think that, gosh. That was that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I got my number. This is hard.
It is hard. All right.
All right. You want me to
Am I
go
going first or you going first?
Show me yours.
Okay. I put an 18.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. I put a 15.
Okay. Okay. We can
but-
argue with each other.
But
Okay.
I also think it could easily be an 18. This is where this one's difficult.
Yeah, and there were so many. I think some of the stuff that I was looking over was the fact that it was over a 10-minute film.
Yeah.
And this would have been so incredible if it were like 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Like
that was my note.
And I'm sure that this was one of those ones that were like, okay, you know what?
Contractually obligated or
Yeah, contractually,
something.
yeah, it needs to be that long. But anyway, so
Okay. So here's where I'm at. I did 15. Cinematography, I gave it a 3. Very solid. Nothing blew me away. There was a couple of like drone shots that were cool from above, but like that's where I was at with it. A 3. What do you have to say?
So
Then we can debate.
I gave this one a 4.
Okay.
And a few of the reasons were that, first off, I thought that some of the dancing reception of the couple were just composed very well. The one especially of like the wider shot of the best man and the maid of honor giving their toasts, where you can kind of see a wide of the room and they were right there in the middle. It's just like, that's not how most people think to compose that stuff. And I thought that was a little outside of the box thinking. I enjoyed, or I thought it showed some foresight in him doing the interviews and how he actually had them on different sides of the screen, so they weren't like right there with each other. But then, there was this, maybe this is more of an editing thing, probably more of an editing thing than a cinema thing, where, you had that guy just walking around in the background where the best man was giving that toast. Like, yeah, that's kind of a thing. There was a shot that I noticed of the church building where it sat on it and then it started to move. So that was one, but I don't know. I thought that those creative shots and just the overall look of it was very solid. So that's what I said.
No, that was really a good way to put it. The things that stood out to me, what you're saying, I feel like the speeches, like just the placement of people and cameras based on where the people were. I don't know what the story was there, but with the speech giver way back behind and the couple having to turn around, and then like I liked the wide shot, but it was kind of weird, like that kind of
That's
stuff.
true. That's true.
It just felt like, you know what, this is solid, but this is not like above, like this is not a 4 on cinematography. Like to me, it's like there was a couple of things like that. There was a couple of shots of like the groom getting ready in the room before they like cut to the groom prep like interview type thing that was just like, this isn't composed like how I would, this is solid, but it could be much better. So that's where, I mean, it was all good. There was a couple of shots like that and things I was thinking, man, this could be a 2. And then there was a couple of things I was like, well, this could be a 4. Yeah, this is somewhere around the 3. So, all right, moving on. Audio, sound design. What did you?
I might.
You can
be
change yours.
back.
I don't want to bring you down.
No, but it was like those things that I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of clouded my judgment on the ones that weren't as.
Mm-hmm.
I might. Yeah, I reserve a right to maybe.
Yeah, at the end we
one.
can change. Well, I'm sitting here thinking about it too. So I think that this was one of those films with it being longer. That's like, like there was more room for mistake. If this was a 6-minute film, I think I would be giving this one like a 17 or 18 or even more.
Yeah.
Audio and sound design. My biggest thing, I gave this one a 3.
I did too.
I feel like the music selection, I feel like it was licensed from a cheaper site or something, and it felt very like click tracky to me, and it just kind of made it feel
music
hokey.
bed, though.
It just felt like hokey though. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't feel like I didn't feel anything from it. It just felt like it kind of was repetitive to me. Like I wasn't sitting here thinking like, yes, good song choice. There were some great audio sound design things. There were some transitions that, whatever. Again, on like the speech audio, it seemed like it needed EQ'd. There was a lot of like muddiness to the microphones, some different things that I saw seemed muffled on the audio. But overall, like, and we'll get to story and stuff in a second, but like I feel like the audio was very solid. So I gave it a 3.
I agree. I agree with all that you're saying there. For the editing, I think it took me a minute to figure out that first song was kind of a cold open. And so the note that I wrote was too time shifty. Like I did not understand what was going on. And I think that was my biggest complaint with the opening. It was edited well and it looked nice, but I was having trouble tracking it. And I think whenever you have something that's a little bit longer for that, and it's not as like in your face epic or just dance party, or it's hard for me to pick up. So that was my big note. And then I thought that the last song again was too hype for how it was edited.
Mm-hmm. Another thing on the audio, there was a couple of times that like it would do a big swell, like a big climax of the song. One time the groom was doing an interview or something and like nothing happened during that. It was like boom, 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 and like a thing happened, but nothing happened. So like just timing music with certain moments just felt a little repetitive. I think Amanda said it, or Jake said it in the comments, little audio jungle vibes. Just a little more corporate feel on that. I feel like the song selection was a little like below, like it wasn't the right song choice in my opinion. And if that was different, I think I would have pushed it up. Next, editing. I also gave this one a 3. I feel like it was like put together, like the edit of it, the cuts, the different things. I was a little confused at the beginning, like you were saying. There was a couple of times where it was like it cut to something that I felt like was kind of random. I'm trying to think of what it was now that we're a few films in, but like, but yeah, to me, again, there was nothing about it that was super in my face. Like, ugh, this needs some major changing.
I mean, and the biggest thing for me, and again, I think this is you had to give them a 10-minute film. It stayed on the officiant and like a really long time. And then there was also, with the best man giving that toast and that guy just walking through. And I'm sure
that was rough.
Yeah. And, figure out some way to cut around it. But those were a couple other things. So
I think in that, on that too, on the speeches of like the couple's going to have to turn around like that, turn their chairs around so they can just face the speech giver, and then put your cameras where maybe you're getting the profile of the speech giver with camera one, and then crossing and getting the couple, like, so you're shooting like 270 to 200s across, so they're looking at each other instead of like this where they were just like turned around the whole time. Like, it just made it hard on the edit, and just things like that guy walking around in the background where like you couldn't not have that if you wanted to show that shot. But overall editing was solid. Nick, to me, on the story, the next one, I gave this a 4. I went above on this one because he did a great job. I'm usually not like an interview straight to camera guy, but I think it worked. I think it was really cool. I felt like I got to know their story. I got to see photos of them as they were like, that's next level stuff. You went above and beyond to tell their story. And I think they're going to love, like, if they haven't seen this already, they're going to love that their story was incorporated. And that's so important to me,
really
and getting like pushing to that next level of wedding films that I'm seeing out there is like the ones that you're seeing that you want to share, that you want to hire that person. It's including more of these kinds of elements. So to me, I wrote 4 down from the beginning on this. I think it would have been like the story got a little like, not the story, but just like my interest in it got a little, like, I started to get a little bit like, when's this film going to end? Because I feel like it should have been like a 7-minute film. Like,
Sure.
I'm sure he had to do a 10-minute film, and that's what was up with it or whatever. But story for me was a 4. What about you?
Yeah, same reasons. So
Neat.
That those interviews really help with that too.
Yeah.
So
I wrote interviews are neat. That's what I wrote on my notes.
Yeah. And then last on the color, I gave this a 4.
I gave this a 2.
Really?
Yes.
Let's talk about this. I mean, really there was nothing.
Like a war.
Yeah, like this is a big discrepancy. I mean, I thought that it was very consistent, and maybe I just wasn't looking at the right things, or maybe I was writing notes and I missed some shots or something. But I didn't see anything that was like super. But I don't know. Maybe my eyes don't work. Talk to me.
No, you're better at color than me. I mean, your film, Jen does your colors, but
yeah, I don't do that. My wife does them.
So it felt like it was shot on like 2 different camera systems or something to me. Like, it felt like one camera, the color was super warm. The next, the camera was super magenta. The drone color to me was really rough.
I would agree on that.
So I can't give it I couldn't give it a 3 because of that. Like, it just felt like there were the shots of the officiant at the Catholic ceremony. It was like, oh, these are really good, clean color. And then it would cut to another shot, and I was like, oh, the color just doesn't match that at all. It kind of was jarring to me. The color didn't stay consistent through the film to me. It would pull me out, and I would think, oh, what is like this? So that's why, like, it felt like it didn't stay consistent. It didn't have a specific feel or vibe to it for me. There was like, this is the color grade for this kind of film. So like how Randy and Hillary's film before was very consistent all the way through.
That's true.
That's why I gave this a 2, mainly because of the color of those drone shots. And I don't know if it was, I just, like the shoot, like the kinds of color that's baked in or whatever, but the color on the drone shots cheapened the film to me, although the shots were really good. I just thought, I wrote 3, and then I wrote 2, and then I wrote 3, then I wrote 2. That's what I kept doing. I was like, oh, it's pretty good. Oh no. So like, it probably should be a 3, but like, to me, I couldn't give it anything more than a 3. So the story was next level. Everything else was right on, and the color seemed to need a little bit of work for me. So that's why I stand by my 15. What about you?
Okay. I wrote a 4. And I don't know what I didn't see that stuff, but I don't know why I didn't see that stuff, or maybe I was paying attention to other things or something. And just hearing you talk about it, I think that I don't know if I can give it a 4 if you give it a 2.
No, you can. I think you can, because I mean, I'm seeing here in the comments, it's like the shots were exposed really well. Like, that's something.
But that's a different.
Right. Like, that's more on the cinematography. And like, I feel like most of them, the lighting was good. But to me, it just felt like maybe 2 different kinds of color grades happening. That's where I felt like, maybe it was the lens choices. I don't know, but if some felt like creamy and like less contrasty, and some felt more, that's where I'm at.
Okay. You know, we're going to keep it. I am going to lower my cinema one from a 4 to a 3. So that gives me at 17, you at 15. So a 32 overall.
I think overall, like, this is a great film. And somebody, I think Amanda posted, why aren't we talking about numbers or how much they're charging and stuff? We can talk about that. It's not that I don't want to, but different markets, different, we talk about money all the time. I mean, this is whatever market he is in, he should be charging upwards of the most. You know, if you're getting anything over 3s on things, you should be charging. And so it's kind of, if we're like, what should they have charged? Well, if you live in Southern California, that's different if you live in the UK, and we don't want to discourage people based on that, but glad to know what they charged for this or what was in the package. Like, there's a lot of different things on that. So we decided we weren't going to push too hard on it. So, but yeah, if you're in here and want to tell us how much you charge, that'd be great. Nick, do you mind just real quickly giving a little plug for something while I use the restroom real fast?
Oh boy, John's going to run. Yep. I'm just going to talk for a second. So, thank you guys for all being here. Can you do me a quick favor? And can you hit that like button on the video? Going YouTube here for a second. Can you hit that like button if you are liking this and enjoying this? And if you're not, then just don't do it. But if you are liking it, that would really help us out. Are you enjoying this this kind of thing? The film review? You know, we got 80 something people. We have 3 more films to get to. We have 3 more films to get to, and one more. We have one that's still about like 5 or 6 more minutes, and then we have a couple of teasers that are like 90 seconds each. And so those are going to be our next few that we are going to get to. So thank you all for submitting to this. We are going to plan on doing this once a month, and you can be a part of that. Yeah,
I washed my hands.
You are.
I washed my hands. Okay.
Good.
I'm back.
Good.
I'm back.
Good. Okay. So I asked them to like the video.
I heard.
Let them know we're going to be doing this once a month. We have 3 more videos left. John, I say we just go ahead and get to this last one from Eubank Films, I believe.
I'm there right, for Blake? It. I'm ready.
I believe so. Yes.
I usually don't get nervous until like it really happens, but I mean I'm getting a little heart thumping. Yeah, just a little. Gina, you make me the best version of myself without even trying. I love everything about you, but most of all, I love that you are goofy, intelligent, caring, genuine, and just full of love. In life, we dream about finding someone that makes everything worth living for, and for me, that person is you.
Good, how are you? No.
You're beautiful. I knew you would be. I wasn't going to cry.
I know, I'm sorry.
I love you.
I love you.
Garrett. I was always skeptical of the cliches, when you know, and falling in love at first sight, but that all changed when I met you. I remember being asked what qualities my perfect dream guy would have, and answering with the following. Someone who appreciates my selfless heart and never takes it for granted. Check. Someone who loves me for all of me. Check.
I remember when she first told me she had met someone named Garrett, and he was absolutely amazing. What she told me repeatedly that night, that should have been my first indication she was really in love, was he does magic tricks, it's so hot.
So hot.
Got this. Ready?
God, you look so good.
And it changes everything.
I know I'm not the best at telling you how I feel, but I vow I will always show you my love by putting your needs before my own. I vow to always be your biggest fan and supporter of all your ambitions and dreams. I vow to always protect and cherish your heart because it truly is made of gold.
I choose you as my life partner, my teammate, my companion, and my best friend.
Garrett, the way you look at me with your googly eyes, the way you tell me how beautiful I am, and the way you make me feel love like I have never known before reminds me just how truly lucky I am to have found you.
I cannot wait to do forever with you. I love you forever, plus 72 months in a day.
I love you endlessly, plus 72 months in a day.
And it changes everything. It changes everything.
A perfect marriage is just two imperfect people who refuse to give up on each other. Put each other's happiness before your own and do at least one act of kindness, and I guarantee you everything will fall into place.
I've never been more confident in any decision that I've made in my entire life than right here, right now.
Choosing you to be my husband was the easiest decision I have ever made and one I have never been more sure of. It's always been you.
May your household multiply and your hearts never be divided.
We wish you two a marriage full of the love and happiness that you both deserve.
Enjoy your special day. All your planning is done. We love you. Cheers.
Love that.
Something that I breathe in. Oh, just a little something. Oh, just a little something. Yeah, just a little. I need it. I want it. Give me just a little of your loving. I need it. You got it. So give me just a little of your love. I know your train coming. I will jump on it. You wanna go fast, baby? No, I come running. 'Cause I need it. You got it. So give me just a little of your, just a little of your loving. Yeah, just a little of your
Okay.
Is that Amanda's film? Is that
No,
who that was?
no,
Oh, okay.
no.
Okay. While you guys are waiting on us, just hold on a sec. I don't know what to tell you to do. All right, we have 5 different categories. If you're just joining us: cinema, audio, the editing, the story, and the color. Nick and I each have a 1 to 5 score on each of those, giving us 25 points apiece to give. A 3 would be industry standard, nothing wrong with it, but not pushing any limits necessarily. But this is going to be very passable. You're going to be able to book lots of wedding films. Anything that's a 4 would be next level. They've gone the extra mile. They're showing extra skill. And a 5 would be something that is just top of the charts, next level. So we're each giving a score, and out of 25 points apiece. All right, let's see. Nick, do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give this one a 15. Pretty middle of the road, standard. All of the check boxes have been filled. That's my score. I think this is a good film. Good job, Eubank Films, on this one. I have lots of things to talk about, but I want to hear your score, your thoughts first.
I'm going to give this one a 14.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here's where I'm at with this film. Like, I took 0 notes. This is where I'm at with this film. Nothing stood out to me at all. I mean, there were moments that I want to talk about within all of these things, but like, I kept like looking for nothing really. There's some color things, there's some editing things, there's some audio things, or whatever, but it was like, this is fine. And that's kind of how I felt like overall. If I was like judging this film, this is fine. But there wasn't really anything about it to me that was just like, yes, like I mean, there were certain little moments, but it was just like, I just felt like I could have maybe replaced the couple with another couple, and it would have felt like the same exact film. So those are my initial thoughts. I'll let you kind of start chatting.
Yeah. When it comes to the cinematography, the shooting, I thought it was fine. It was solid. There wasn't anything glaring that I noticed, other than there were several gimbal movements that, while things were happening, like at their first look, they did something and you kind of turned the gimbal while they were doing that. That was a little jarring to me. After the ceremony, I think around the time of the letters or the marriage license being signed or something, there was some movements in there that I wasn't like super crazy about. But again, for the most part, I didn't see anything that was like, it was solid. It was solid.
That's how I feel about this film. It was solid all the way around. Like, I mean, you did a good job. There were some like little moments, little things, but to the average person watching this, I don't think they're going to say like that cinematography, those shot selections were bad. Like, this needed improvement. I feel like this was very solid work. Same thing to me for the audio and the sound. You could hear things clearly. We didn't hear much when it came to like taking it to another level. When it came to like the sound effects or the music, or it's just kind of drug, or like different things like that, just kind of dragged on. And but it wasn't bad. It was fine. That's how I felt about that. Any critique or notes that you have, Nick, on the audio?
No, not really. Not really. Editing. This is where I actually gave a 2.
Okay.
I really liked the slow ambient intro with the groom talking into the camera. I really, really like that. And one thing that my wife and I have noticed whenever we're watching shows or movies and stuff is establishing and kind of intro into things is usually a little bit more gradual, a little bit more slower. And so I really appreciate that. I didn't like the text on the screen. I thought that was an interesting choice. And to me, that didn't fit the couple in this regard, because to me, text on screen like that seems to be someone that's has a very specific vibe, very maybe indie, very maybe rough around the edges, however you want to say that. But this couple seemed very, like kind of clean cut and, proper. I don't know if proper is, you know what I'm saying. And I felt that was kind of an effect that maybe didn't work really. There was also a lot of time shifting stuff that I didn't understand. And I was having a hard time with the flow of it. Again, it was really good edit. I just think that those are some things that could have maybe helped a little bit. So that's why I gave that part.
I'm feeling that. And to me too, like some of the moments that like could have been like edit and story to me, you know, flow so well together. But like first look with dad was like a really sweet thing, but it just kind of happened. Like it didn't, it kind of happened out of nowhere. It was just kind of, oh, here's the first look with dad. There was no like build up to it. There was no story behind it. There was no, like, I just was like, oh, here it is. Here's this thing happening. Same thing. Boom. Here's the groom first look here. And so to me, I'm just like, it was fine. It was, I mean, again, I have no doubt this couple loved it. It was a beautiful film. But to me, nothing was pushing past that for me. So that is a 3 there for me. You gave it a 2. Story, I almost gave this a 2, but I gave it a 3.
Yeah. I mean, it was good for the wedding day. It was fine. Again, there just probably, maybe there just wasn't a ton, or, you know, I don't know, that was usable, but I mean, I thought it was fine. So I think we're in agreement with that. And then the color, you know, it was very, very passable, very solid, very good job. You know, some of the stuff at the reception, again, with it just being darker and the colors and that stuff was a little, you know, little iffy in spots, but very solid, very, you know, good job. This is a great, you know,
there wasn't
industry
anything,
standard
there was literally zero about it that I was like, ugh, we need to really work on that. So that's where I got with this. With the color, there were a few shots that I know you were having to deal with, like the greens bouncing off of the grass in the sun, but there was a few times where it cut from like one angle to another where like the groom's shirt was very green tint in the highlights, and then it was not, and so it made it really noticeable. These are nitpicky things, but still, to me, I wasn't even considered, like, the color was consistent throughout. The film was very consistent. I think probably if the film was a minute or so shorter, it probably would have been better, depending on like what's contractually what you have to do or not. But that's something to think about in your edits, is like what could be taken out, what could be you know, removed. But overall, I'm gonna stick with my solid 3s across the board on this one. 15 for me. And what did you give it?
14.
A 14. Okay.
Okay. So now I'm going to make you talk for a minute so I can go pee.
Okay.
So go.
Yep. I'll be talking. All right. Let me look in the chats here real quick to see if you guys have any questions. What's up, everybody? Glad to see. Yeah. If you want to join the list to be on, I think Blake has that link. Blake, if you could post that in the chat or go to a screen of that, that'd be awesome. Just people are asking like what to do if they want to be part of the next one. We're looking at doing this once a month. So let's see. Lull Photo and Film are the 4s and 5s of the world all shooting in S-Logs. S-Log I don't yet, but need to. I don't know. I don't know if that's, I am shooting S-Log or log, but I don't know. Okay. Thanks, Blake, for putting the link in there. Once a month we're going to do this. And if you see on the screen the How to Film Weddings Plus, it doesn't cost anything to get signed up. I think you have to put your card info in, but you can cancel it, similar to Disney Plus or Paramount Plus or whatever, to where you get a free month of it, just kind of see what we're doing. And then from there, like if you want to cancel it, you can, but it helps support us, helps us do things like this, spend time on things like this. Everybody's saying they're loving it. So Nick, how was your potty break?
Oh, it was great. And again, if you are watching this and you are liking this, give us a thumbs up. Let us know.
It's not that hard. I think I can.
Hard.
I can give it a thumbs up.
I can like it because I'm logged in as Wild Oak Films. So I just liked it. How about that? Yeah.
Yep.
So,
all right,
okay. We have a couple more to do. These ones are teaser trailers. So they're like a lot shorter, like a minute and a half, if that. So we're going to
buckle up.
Buckle up. Pay attention, John, because we don't.
Yeah, I'm not writing anything. I'm just going. Okay. The end.
3, 2.
Yeah. One.
Okay.
Whoa.
Advertisements. Okay. We don't support
Okay.
that. Whatever this is, we don't support that.
Oh, man.
Okay. Wow, that went fast.
It did go fast. It did go fast.
That's what she said. It's two. Yeah, sorry. Okay. All right, Nick. I'm gonna write my teasers or trailers are much easier to get a higher score on certain things. I mean, it just seems. Am I right? I mean,
yeah.
but also it's harder to build certain. I mean,
Okay.
all right. Let's see. All right, what do you got?
I got 18.
I got myself a 16.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What'd you go on the cinematography, shot selections?
Yeah. I gave this one a 4. I thought that they were very creative. For what was going on there. I liked that there was a lot of mixture and variation in how some were tight, some were wide, some were, cutting off at the waist, some like just the selection I thought was really well. I thought it was filmed really nice. I didn't see anything that was like super, blown out or anything like that. I know it was a little bit darker when you were filming, but I didn't notice anything like being like super muddy, in that stuff. So I'm guessing the exposure was pretty solid throughout. So that's why I gave it as a 4.
Yeah, and we're on cinema, right? I was looking over at the comments.
Yes.
Yeah, like I think that for these specific shots, like I gave it a 4 as well. I'm trying not to judge just based on the fact that it's an epic location and actually thinking through. I almost gave this a 3. And I might switch it to a 3, to be honest, because
That's fair.
I'm officially switching it to a 3 because like the more I'm thinking about it, because that was such a quick edit, it's like it was really pretty. But to me, it was like they didn't like go with that background, with that setting. I think it was great, but I think they could have done some more with it. When it comes to gimbals or drones, or I'm sure it was like a handheld or like just a very simple shoot, but I'm going to give it a 3. Nick, where are you at on audio and sound?
I gave this one a 3 because I think that this is like really standard whenever people would be getting started and they would film somewhere like that. They would just pick a song and then they would put it in there and they wouldn't like touch it. This one I think could have easily been a 4 or potentially a 5 with like the types of shots that you had. If you were gone in and added any kind of sound design, especially the wind and her dress blowing, and there could have been a lot of stuff that you could have added in there that would have really taken this up. But I just gave it a 3 because I think that that's really standard for people that if they're just doing kind of a little short trailer like this, they don't do anything.
Yeah, so I had a 3, and I'm honestly considering, now that I'm thinking about it, bringing it to a 2 because they just had a song. Like the song was pretty. I'm officially moving it to a 2.
Oh man.
I'm not trying to but I didn't have too much time to process this, and as we're looking at it, I had it written down as a 3, but the song was beautiful. But with that short of something, you like the standard for a trailer like this is like you got to push that limit with the sound. There was no voiceovers, there was no wind, it was very lacking to me. So I'm bringing that one actually down to a 2. I hate to be that guy. So my score currently is officially actually down to a 14, not a 16. The edit, Nick.
You know what? Now that you're saying that, I think I'm going to drop mine to a 2 as well.
Okay.
but it's just because, like, for something like this, I think that's a distinction we need to make. Whenever you have less to play with, you have to compensate somehow. And I think if you put that in a longer film, oh my word.
Nick's dropping that's what she said. Sorry, guys. All right. When you have less to play, with, you have to compensate somewhere, he says. All right, put it on a shirt. Okay, so the edit, Nick. I think this edit was really solid.
I put this one at a 4.
Okay,
I thought it needs to be a 4.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, like I'm like on the edit itself, like I loved that we saw like a photo of somebody or whatever, but I'm just like, what is this? I get it's like a teaser, like we're teasing people. It doesn't say coming soon, doesn't say their names. I just don't know. Like if I'm just seeing this in the edit, I'm like, this is clean. This is good. It's not bad. There's nothing about it that I'm just like, what's missing? But there was nothing about it to me that was just like at the end, or like a not even just like the sizzle factor of it, but again, I think I saw Jake in the comments like elegant, beautiful. It is definitely that. Like this is a piece of art. Like this is beautiful. There's no question about it. It's definitely great. But the edit to me, solid, passable.
Yeah, the thing that editing to a song like that can be a little difficult. And so anyway, I liked it. I think that it just comes down to, it would have been up another level with some sound stuff. Story, I'm leaving it at a 3. There tried to be even some story elements in there with the picture and stuff, which was kind of, I didn't know where that was coming from and stuff, just because I didn't know it. So I saw you like trying to do something more than just standing there. But yeah, so I just had a 3.
I gave it a 2. I had a 3 written down. I marked it out. I wrote 2, and then I had a 3. Then I marked it out and written 2. I feel like it was trying with some type of, but there was like the story was just, we're in a really beautiful location to me, and maybe I'm missing it. Maybe like the elegance. We're in an elegant, beautiful location. And I don't know if you need too much story, but there was nothing. If this is a trailer, wanting, I didn't want more. I didn't feel like, ooh, like I need to know what's happening next. I didn't feel like they, like without any dialogue, even you can tell story. There's I had it written down as 2, and then like I saw that photo and I was like, oh, there's a little bit of story here. Where's this going to lead me? But it didn't lead me anywhere. So it was really pretty, but that's where I gave it a 2 as well.
Okay.
And then color, I gave it a 4.
Yep, I did too.
Color was clean. Obviously, with one location, the sun was moving, but I felt like it was buttery and dreamy and like really fit the mood for this. I would have loved to have heard like, I think Brandon Baxley, is that who did this film?
Yeah.
He said like they didn't want any audio in it. So that makes sense context wise. If I were making this for them, I would do it, but then I would make one for me as well, and maybe include some type of a audio of a poem being written or read, or I don't know, something that just gives me something. Give me some, story with sound effects and with sound and like things and that sort of thing. So overall, let me see where I'm at. 5, 8, 10. I'm at a 14 on this one.
Okay. I lowered mine to a 17. So we are, what is that, a 31?
31. Yeah. Is that your highest score of the day?
No.
It's surprising that's your highest score of the day. I'd challenge you on that, because I think it's solid, but I think, yeah, I'm not going to challenge.
Maybe I'm just more generous than you. And
well, yeah, you are a generous human. Yeah, looking through the comments over there, is everybody being nice? Everybody's being nice. Okay, cool. Good.
All right. So this is our last one. This is Amanda, and she says her heart is pounding. So it's another short one here, and we will run through this. Blake, go ahead. John, are you ready? It's going to go quick.
Nope. Okay.
Nope. Not
Amanda,
ready.
Don't worry. Don't worry, Amanda. We're just critiquing you. Just all 80 of us. Okay.
All right. Hit that play.
You came into my life out of nowhere and literally took my heart by surprise in the best way possible. With you, it's just always been a heart thing, and I wouldn't trade our connection for the world. I know that together we can accomplish anything we set our minds to. I cannot wait to see you at the altar and to be your wife. Let's see where this crazy adventure of life takes us for all the years to come.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right, I got to process that. Before I just give my numbers, I just want to process it a little more because I feel like maybe it's best to process these teasers or trailers because, yeah. All right. Like, I don't want to go safe. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying, but sometimes it just like feels like. Can we watch it again? Can we watch it one more time? Is that dumb? I want to watch it again.
Okay, Blake.
Anybody be mad if we watch it again? Like, I just want to watch it one more time. Okay.
You came into my life out of nowhere and literally took my heart by surprise.
Yeah.
In the best way possible. With you, it's just always been a heart thing, and I wouldn't trade our connection for the world. I know that together we can accomplish anything we set our minds to. I cannot wait to see you at the altar and to be your wife.
Dang.
Let's see where this crazy adventure of life takes us for all the years to come.
Okay. Okay, that helped. That helped. Thanks all of you for watching again. Good job, Amanda. Okay, I think I'm ready.
All right, start talking.
All right, I'm giving this a 14. Okay. What are you giving it?
That is also what I wrote.
Okay. This is very solid. I like it. I like it a lot. I think though that the standard for a trailer is much higher than the standard for the like like if you're doing a teaser trailer, like it needs to be as perfect as possible. To me, this is where you're showing off, like this is your money maker, this is your reel, this is the thing you're like you're teasing the film, whatever. But to me, that's how I'm processing this. So on the cinematography, the shooting, I gave it a 3. Very passable, very solid. From the shots that I'm seeing, the horse shot was super cool. I feel like the drone shot was okay at the beginning. I like there's people in the shot and different like stuff like that. It didn't like move too much or anything, but it wasn't bad. So it was very passable.
Yep, I also had a 3 on there.
Also, I see that Lindsay and Cherish have entered the room in the chat. They are currently grading John and Nick in their performance today. We'll tell you what our score is at the end. I give a 14. Nick same crosses out score and writes a 14. Okay, screw you guys. Jake, get out of here. Screw you guys. We're going home. Okay, audio and sound. What'd you give it?
This is the one where I am doing it a 2.
Okay.
And a couple of the reasons I think that you definitely could have added in some of that sound design stuff, like thinking of the ocean and the waves and like some stuff you added there. But a couple of the things, the bride mic when she was reading her letter was just really room echoey. What did I say?
Just laughing. I'm just laughing at the chat. It's just John writes a 14. Nick scratches out. Right. Screw you guys. All of you. No offense. No offense. This
is live TV at its finest. No. The room was just, it was really echoey in there. And it almost sounded like you were using a recorder that wasn't on her, like you were maybe using a shotgun mic or something like that is more so what it sounded like. And then there was some ducking of the audio that was like whenever at the end, whenever she was coming down the aisle, I could distinctively tell that you took the audio down really quick so that she could say something and it wouldn't be too loud. So that was that.
Cursing at audience, -2 points. Okay.
Who cursed?
So, and I think I said screw you guys. That's the Christian way of saying it. So I didn't know that was a curse. Okay. Audio and sound for me, I had a 2 written down. I changed it to a 3. Because I feel like it was passable. It was solid. It honestly, for me, it'd be like a 2.5 is where I'm at with it, but I'm giving it a 3. The edit itself, Nick, again, it was like a 2.5 to a 3 for me. I feel like it could have been much more when I'm thinking about the edit for a teaser, for a trailer. Like it's gotta be, in my opinion, as perfect as possible, or like the moments that match with the audio. There was big swells and it like showed like some like a plant or something on one shot. Like it was just, there was a couple of moments on the edit where I was just like, this could have been more tidy, but overall, again, solid. So
yeah. I will say that whenever the music started to hit and there were those hard like drum beats, it took you a minute to catch up to editing to those drum beats. Like it happened for maybe a measure or 2 before you really started doing a little quicker cuts. I would have liked to seen that. I probably would have taken out the slow-mo dancing whenever everyone was jumping around where that was really hype, and just had some more quick, like you had like 3 or 4 quick ones or real-time ones, and then some slow-mo and then some quick again. Real-time, that's the word. I probably would have done that a little bit. And the horse shot was pretty. It was pretty. I don't think it made sense right there.
Right. The horse shot was pretty. I would have loved to have seen like the horses and the drone shot with like, I think there was a horse statue, and like to kind of open up and like show that we're at some kind of a horse stable or something. I would have loved to have, like in this trailer, if you think of it, it was like a black screen, but you heard like horse noises. Nick, go ahead, and what's a horse noise? Go ahead, do what? Okay, cool. If you would have heard some like to start the film and it was dark and like faded up into the horses, or it like built some anticipation, that could have been cool. So like could have done, okay. Next category. What are we on next?
Story.
Nick, what'd you give it?
It was I gave it a 3. It was good.
Solid. I think it was fine. I think it was good. I liked hearing her voice again, like what you said. I like about the audio, the sound kind of mixes with the story. I think it was clean. Nick's smiling now. He must be reading the comments. All right.
The horse was metaphorical. That's what she told me.
That was good. Nick, come on. And yes, I also, before we get there, if you think this feedback is harsh, I'm looking at you, Luna DML Studio. We've said it a bunch. Like what we're saying is a 3 is like couples going to love it, be blown away.
We're saying
So
that's industry standard. A
that's
3
the
is industry standard.
industry passable. So good. 4 is going to be that next level. Like, wow, we've really taken this up a notch. And 5 is going to be something that's just like beyond a wow. It's very hard to get a 5 in a category. I would say most of my films would sit between 3s and 4s with things. Like, I mean, it's just, that's being honest. Like, don't read the comments.
I can't, man.
What does the horse say? Okay. Last one on this, and as a people pleaser myself, Nick, it's really hard for me to think somebody would be frustrated for critiquing or whatever, but color, to me, I gave this one a 2 on the color. I feel like there were a lot of shots, especially right at the beginning, that just like took me out of the film with color that didn't match really well. It didn't have like its own vibe, or like, to me, like the color just seemed like it was a little below on some of the shots. Could have used some tweaking, especially in the context of this is the trailer. This is a minute long, and I want to make sure this is done really consistently throughout. You can pick the best of the best shots for this. If you had color troubles with something, you could maybe not use it in the trailer or something like that. So that's where I gave my 2 on this one. 3s across the board for me, except for the color, which gave me a 14.
Yep. And I gave this one a 3 so my 2 is the audio. So
yeah,
28
so great
overall.
Great job. Yeah. And it looks like people still like me in the comments. That's nice. And what else? Do you want to plug HTFW Plus real quick? Tell people how to get signed up for next month.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments too, if you really think of this. And then also in the comments, everyone, I would like 1 to 5 Judge Nick, 1 to 5 Judge John on how we did today. 5 being this is
3 is industry standard.
Yes.
3 is industry standard.
Yes. And be sure, if you like one of us better, give the whatever, give us different scores. But if you like one of us better, you just put it in the chat or whatever. Okay, so How to Film Weddings Plus. I want to throw it out there one more time. I think Blake just posted it as a link. This is our new subscription service that we're offering. It's free to join. You can cancel before the 30 days is up, and you won't be charged anything. $7.99 a month. Going to have a lot of behind the scenes, an extra podcast recording where you can ask questions. It gets you moved to the front of the line for this. Help support How to Film Weddings, what we're doing. And there's a promo code you're going to get for discounts in our store, as well as front of the line access for our mastermind, discounts off of our course coming out in November. Just a great way to plug in, and then a lot of behind the scenes stuff at weddings. So there's an archive. So all the footage that we have, or all the content that we have moving forward, they'll all be in there for you so you can have it. And we're really excited about this. We're really excited to have this out in the world. We've been, whether or not we want to do something like Patreon or Instagram subscriptions or any of that kind of stuff, we just didn't feel right about it. This feels way more like us, and it feels like we can serve the community well. So if you're wanting your films reviewed, you're wanting to guarantee that you need this kind of feedback, $8 a month to be part of this and get your name up there at the top of those lists. That helps us help you. So yeah, that's at How to Film Weddings, or at howtofilmweddingsplus.com. Is that right?
HTFWplus.com.
Okay, I'm still learning it. Appreciate all you guys in the comments, being fun and helping as well. We love this community. We're pumped about it. I don't have anything else to add except for thanking Blake, the editor. He's here behind the scenes.
Blake, can you say hi and have everyone hear you? I don't know if you can.
I don't know if they can hear me or not. I'm going to talk now, and then we'll play this back later and see if anyone could actually hear me. But thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Well, Blake just said something.
Thanks.
So if you didn't hear him, but he said it. So guys, I think that this has been a, what happened now?
Someone gave you 4 horses and me 4 horses. Actually, people are asking about these shorts. These are not boxers. These are like Nike running shorts. They're super cozy for sitting in a chair for 3 hours. Okay. But we both got 4 horses and 1 shorts out of 5 from somebody.
Someone gave you a 4.99 and me a 5. So
okay.
I'll take that one.
Respect.
Oh, John, you got 5 blue shorts out of 5.
Oh, okay. I get it.
This is great. This is good.
Okay.
This is good. Okay.
All good things.
I think we need to end this thing, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And whenever we do this next month, we will send out emails and let you know if you submitted something. We will be sure to be in contact with you about how that's going to work in the future. So thank you, guys. And we will see you later.
See you guys.